I got a joke I want to try on you guys. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Well, first of all, I'm going to ask everybody in the room familiar with Winnie the Pooh before I continue this joke.
Yes.
Alright. Well, growing up, there was that one episode that was stuck in my mind where, like, Winnie the Pooh talking to Tigger, and Tigger's like, hey, you better watch out having all that honey around. Watch out for those fucking heffalumps and woozles. They're going to come and steal your shit. And Winnie the Pooh's like, fuck too, like, nobody touch my shit. And he's sleeping with a gun and everything. And I asked Mary if she's ever seen that. And she's like, I never watched Winnie the Pooh. So then I slapped her. Point is, that was a good episode.
Yeah.
Always stuck in my mind as
good
a
one.
kid because he was
You
like,
gotta be wary of heffalumps and woozles.
yeah, he was all hyped about it too. Like he had this little pop gun and he would fucking sleep with it.
Yeah, it's really more of a story than a joke, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but more
There's
comedians tell stories than jokes
there's
anymore.
story
True.
jokes, yeah.
Yeah, there's stories with a punchline.
Like
Yeah.
the little bunny foo-foo one.
A little joke peppered in there occasionally.
Yes.
Remember in kindergarten when teacher read us that story about that rabbit who went around beating the shit out of the field mice named Bunny Foo-Foo, and then a good witch appearance and fuck around and find out?
Nah.
That's a good fucking story. Nobody else
Alright.
remembers that? Oh, you gotta
Little
shit.
bunny foo-foo.
Here.
Alright, alcohol time.
Get your
Scooping
alcohol
up the
open.
field mice and put 'em on the head.
See, I only know that from South Park.
Oh, that's a shame.
Mom used to sing it to me.
Welcome to Legally Stupid, everybody. We are once again not here with Brandon.
Again, his absence.
The main
Why?
host is not here. Instead, we have 3 guests with us. We have Jeremy, Mary, and Grace.
Yeah, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, Mary?
I, Mary.
Yes! We have established Mary. But yeah, Jeremy and Mary are both friends of the podcast, and Grace is
I'm
my
just
little
kinda
sister.
here.
Yes. We also have Slater lurking around the background.
Yes, our
You
great
may or may not
host,
say
as always. Yeah.
Jeremy, you want to introduce yourself?
Jeremy.
My name is Kibbs.
Formerly known as Teddy Strickland.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, he
Yes,
does have a following of Teddy Strickland.
Yeah, so if anyone is here from TikTok, it's Teddy Strickland on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm not one of those trend hopping whores neither. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm all original, baby. You go to my channel, you're gonna see me talk some loud shit
He's
on
strictly
Pokemon
straight.
and Yu-Gi-Oh, all that good shit.
I love how you've known about Yu-Gi-Oh for so long and just refuse to pronounce it right.
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
well, that's what makes it great. I ain't no fucking genius, Soren. You got a problem with it?
Yeah.
I mean, not at this point. Grace, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi.
Excuse me, sorry.
Are you okay?
I'm done now. I'm just fucking so rude.
Okay.
That's alright. But, so, we have a variety of topics we can talk about here today for this episode. Jeremy's always got a good story. Mary is an anime aficionado, like some other people here on the podcast, so...
Yeah, my guess is she's probably watched the most out of anyone on
Yeah.
the podcast.
I
Especially-
watched-
definitely the most obscure ones, like you mentioned earlier.
Well, and when it comes
Yeah.
to reading manga, too, she's gonna have,
Yes.
like,
Yeah, so
head
yeah,
and shoulders above
yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
I
else.
don't know about
like
that.
there's only like 4 or 5 manga I've ever read.
Yeah.
I've been like reading them constantly back to back.
Yeah.
Like I'm reading one right now. It's like Chinese or some shit.
I know.
Yeah.
Before you came along, guess what? I used to watch anime all the time, and I would like look for genres and just go through the genres, watch the first 4 or 5 episodes, and see if it caught my
Yes, we
attention.
both have
You're
a
looking
dark
for
past.
action and shonen and stuff like that.
Yeah, I went through a harem.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember the hair.
I must have.
Harem.
I got that reverse harem.
I
Well,
was-
there's only one like Oron High School hook club.
That's a reverse harem, okay?
Yeah.
I've never actually watched Oran High School Host. Isn't it like a
Great.
slice of life anime?
I
It is.
kind-
It's like
kind
a
of.
I think so.
it's like a
Kind
school
of.
drama slice of life for first harem.
It's
comedy.
fantastic.
Comedy,
Is it?
yeah.
The main character, it's a she, but pretending to be a man. is
Well,
what
not
I-
by choice.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
she's
not by
not
choice.
exactly.
They
like-
just kind of
Like
thought
an
she was a
all-male
dude.
school or something? Or?
No, the Oran High School Host Club is all
The
male.
club is all male. Yeah.
Okay.
And because they're hosts, and she broke a vase when she went to investigate the room, and then one of the main guys, I can never remember his
She's a
name.
detective.
It starts with a K, but
I have no idea.
it was like, okay, you can either pay us back the $10,000 that vase cost, or you can work as a host, because they thought she was a guy.
Okay.
And then she got troped hard.
And she was like,
So hard.
yeah, I guess I'll work as a host.
I mean, yeah, that beats paying $10,000.
Yeah.
So basically, they're super
Wasn't
rich.
even 2,000.
They're like
20 yen or some
super
shit.
rich.
Yeah, and they
That's where
they
you get
treat
the
her
rich
like
bastards from.
she's the poorest person ever, you know.
Mhm.
In their mind, you know, she's probably in the little shack, just so dilapidated.
Yeah.
Just, you know, barely afford bread.
They make fun of her coffee. They're like, oh yes, peasant's coffee.
Yeah.
So what is peasant's coffee?
It's instant coffee.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's just instant coffee.
It's so funny because at one point one of the boys was like, "I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble with my father for drinking this."
I mean, probably. If he's worried about it, it seems like it's likely.
And what is it? Fruits Basket, where that chick's literally homeless and she's just sleeping out in the tent in that rich people's yard, and they're like, "Oh, ha, she's a bum."
Yeah, I've never watched.
I've never watched Fruits Basket.
Yeah.
I have not
No,
watched
you
either one
should,
we've
it's
mentioned so
good.
far.
Well, me neither.
Yeah.
Well, she's
Oh, I don't
Okay.
care. I've watched Toradora. That's a straight up fucking romance. So.
Yeah,
Honestly, I used to
Toradora,
watch
like it.
Lucky Star anytime I got sick.
I love Lucky Star.
Yeah, I only heard of it. Haven't watched it.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's
It's
so
I couldn't tell you what the fuck it's about except for the
It's
girls.
a slice of life.
Yeah, it's slice of life.
Yeah.
There's no like big
Hey, the
overarching
older
plot.
I get, the more I tend to end up watching like romance or slice of life, you know, kind of anime. Just like, all right, I need a feel good one now because
Yeah,
my life sucks.
I tried watching
Or
Your
more
Lie in
loud.
April, but I
Yeah.
couldn't get into
I'm
it.
gonna watch K-On!
Your
and
Lie
drink
in
some
April.
tea.
But I couldn't get into it.
Or of course, I mostly watch action, shonen, and comedy. Those are the three big ones
Yeah.
I go for.
I do like action and comedy,
Yeah.
but I like horror also.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
best
really big
anime, I'll
horror.
say this hands down, is Shiki. That's my
Oh, yeah.
all-time favorite anime. Well, like you wouldn't
It's a
think an
work of
anime
art.
about vampires would be too interesting, but with this, it's freaking brutal. I highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
Animes can get really fucking brutal.
So is Shiki also your favorite anime, you think, Mary?
Not my favorite anime. I like it a lot.
What would you pick as your favorite?
Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei.
What's
For
it
sure.
all about?
Okay. It is. I'm not even sure what its English name
It's
is.
dark as shit.
Okay, so
Order
basically,
Sayonara, so goodbyes in there.
yeah, something about
Goodbye,
the
teacher.
sensei's name
Mm-hmm.
means like despair.
Okay.
Like if you write it a different way.
Like
kanji?
they,
Oh, like kanji
yeah, they
stuff,
write it
yeah.
a certain way, and I guess it means it's something else as
Mhm.
well.
Okay.
So,
I know
and
them.
he suits his nickname Despair Sensei or whatever. He like
A
he's
sad
just
boy,
always
is he?
he's just always
He's
like
always trying to
triggered
kill
by-
himself.
He's he's always trying to kill himself.
And he's stopped comically every episode.
Yeah.
That's not, and every time, like, he's, like, trying to hang himself, and the girl's, like, underneath him, holding him up, and she's like, no, there's easier ways to make your neck longer, and he's just like...
Make yourself taller is what she
Oh,
said.
so she's an idiot.
And she's like, my
Okay.
parents tried to make themselves taller once too.
Maybe this girl just has a problem.
Yeah. Everyone
mean-
around her wants to kill themselves.
One person, yeah. 2 people, 3 people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. The teacher changes his mind almost every episode.
Yeah, he's like, okay, she tries to help him every time, and when she tries to help him, she almost like kills him in the process, and then he's like, I almost died. But yeah, he gets triggered by like everything. Like, he says that the amount you're willing to lend is what your value is, and what you should be living your life by. You know, you should like
We got a special guest.
live
now.
outside. You shouldn't live outside your means, basically.
Okay.
If you're only willing to lend out like basically chump change, how much you have, you should have like a straight bed. Oh my God, cat.
Yeah, that's Nova, by the way,
Well,
also
yes.
guest starring.
Especially this
She is
episode.
unrelenting.
Yeah.
She is very, unhappy about the amount of people in her house.
Yes.
So.
Well, one I would recommend is about a teacher. It's called GTO, Great Teacher Onizuka. It's about a
I've heard of that one.
former Yakuza member who becomes a teacher. And he's,
Nova's not
my
done
God.
talking.
what would you like to add, Nova?
We're just gonna
All
have
right,
to
just
let.
leave the room. Okay.
She's like, don't address me.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, old school anime. The faces he makes are some of the ugliest fucking faces I've ever seen in my life. Really funny shit.
You said Shiki was your favorite anime, though. You wanna
All the time.
run down what Shiki is real quick for? I mean, somebody who doesn't know, maybe they'd be interested.
A virus breaks out. Jesus
By
Christ.
virus.
Just let her do her thing. You
Yeah.
know, she's got.
It's just it's good. You know,
Seemingly a virus breaks out and
it's good audio texture.
Yeah.
Everybody, well, not everybody, a great number of the people in the town are getting anemic, and the doctor is like, what the fuck is going on? So he's trying to get to the bottom of it, and then people start dying randomly, and then he hears instances of people that are dead who are supposedly silent, and so he goes into it deeper, and he's like trying to, at the same time, he's like, oh no, ain't nothing going on, people, don't be so superstitious, and in the background he's like polishing fucking knives and shit.
No, he, for the most part, he doesn't know that they're vampires until he, basically his wife gets turned, and he
Spoiler,
instead of spoiler alert. His wife gets turned. He basically experiments with her to see what can kill her, and then he basically tricks the vampires into thinking that he's with them because he's been like even if he didn't know what they were, he's been kind of a thorn in their asses this whole time. And he tricks them into thinking that he's on their side. But he, basically, they've got almost half the town turned. So they have a good portion of people. But they're having a festival going on. And they trick one of the vampires into coming to the festival. She wants to be like one of them. Like she doesn't want to hide anymore. You know, it's a very good, like, it's a very complex. It's like
they get her wig out
it's
in
like
public.
one of those like. It's like
and then they beat the
these
shit
people
out of
these are people too. These are people too. It's like one of those like, okay, the vampires, they want even though they're killing people and turning them, they're mostly, they've got to feed to live.
They're like, oh, we just wanted to live, but at the same
Yeah.
time I had no sympathy. I'm like, no, come on, you motherfuckers, you had a choice.
Yeah, but it is very sad because they've got the upper hand. They're very, very carefully turning everyone in the town, and when they think that they've got it in the bag, this is their town now, they get the situation upturned on it, and it's very brutal.
They riot out, and they basically they try to find every single vampire. They find all their hiding places. They drag them out into the sunlight, and pretty brutal. I like it.
Nice.
Full spoiler,
Yeah.
spoiler,
Yeah,
guys.
full
Full spoilers for the anime Shiki.
Yeah.
Brandon, put that somewhere in the description.
And the music on it is iconic too. If you ever heard, like, you'll notice a lot of the abridged series we watched, they use clips of the music in there, like the Goblin Slayer Bridge.
Oh,
They use the music from Shiki because it's so iconic.
Okay. What about you, Gracie? What
Yeah.
kind of what's your personal favorite anime? What do you think?
Probably Inuyasha.
Inuyasha, solid choice.
Good choice. I love Inuyasha.
Also,
You wanna-
one that's on my watch list, but I haven't seen yet.
It's
Oh
so
my God,
good.
I'm
You
so-
need to watch. I need to watch the rest
want to
of
give
it.
us a not too spoilery rundown of Inuyasha? Dyson hasn't seen it yet, so.
A cat boy and his pet cat.
He's not a cat.
He's a dog.
He's a dog.
Boy. Yeah, I know that much. I know he's a
Cat.
dog.
He does look
No,
like he's got
a dog.
the ears.
And I know there's a new anime that's like a continuation of it.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of it, and there's like 2 or 3 movies that I need to watch.
I've seen them all.
I've seen a
I
good
need
one.
I need to watch all of it because I haven't finished it. But it's this girl who's the reincarnation of like a warrior from a different realm, and she gets sucked down a well into this other realm where she has to like team up with Inuyasha, the demon dog boy, who's half demon, to
Half dog.
Man, bear,
Technically
pig.
half human, right?
half human. His mom was a human. Which I still don't know how that worked, but
I mean, they can transform. So
Yeah.
The demons.
their dad was fucking huge wolf demon.
Yeah. I wonder how that happened.
It has to be shape-shifting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he must get smaller
But-
at one point.
It's just their adventures fixing the sacred jewel shards
Yeah, that's all kind of centered around.
because she broke it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she comes to this world and she
Just
immediately fucks
immediately
everything
breaks
up.
one of the most important things.
Yeah.
It's like,
She's got
oh,
some
cool.
terrible luck.
Oh, no.
I like the side characters though, like the monk.
Yeah.
The monk
you're
is
like-
ridiculous.
The most
Muraku,
entertaining
yeah.
one from that.
He's so ridiculous. He's like there's at one point where they're talking about two of the girls, and the monk is like, yeah, no, because he's a playboy.
I have a little spiel I have to go into here in a minute, but go ahead and do what you're doing.
And there's a scene where they're sending Kagome back, and Inuyasha is arguing with the monk.
Moroku, I believe.
Yes. And
I'm glad you remembered that.
Inuyasha is talking about Kagome and the woman he used to love, Kikyo, who he still loves.
Mm-hmm.
And Moroku is like, you had pick them both. And Inuyasha's like, why can't I pick them both? As they're sending Kagome home. It's just,
What a dog.
Well,
yeah.
Mary marathon that series, like
Yeah.
how many seasons?
I'm pretty sure
It's
I've
not like
seen
8
it more than
seasons?
once.
Yeah.
I've
Something
seen
like
it
that. It's-
several
I kept
times.
hearing Kikyo in my fucking sleep because they say that name so much throughout that show.
People are too hard on Kikyo.
I don't like Kikyo.
I know you don't like Kikyo. You just ease up on Kikyo.
She could just die.
She did.
Yeah, she could die again.
That's like the whole problem. Yeah, but anyway, so the whole thing with Moroku is a lot of people love Moroku. You don't hear people complain about like, oh, he's a bad character, but you get a lot of people complaining about Brock from Pokemon, and I think Brock
People
is
complain
just.
about Brock?
Yeah, and I think it's just Brock is just objectively less offensive than Moroku because Brock is just a hopeless romantic. He's not like attempting like Moroku's
I know
always
what it is.
feeling people up, and he
Yeah.
literally asks that little girl to
Hey,
wait
women-
until she's
women
older.
like
Yeah, no, he does. I think,
Yeah.
I think I know what it is. It's the Danny DeVito effect.
What's that?
It's where if you're not sure somebody's being creepy, you imagine Danny DeVito doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's creepy then that person's being creepy. So I think what the effect is people find Moroku attractive,
Yeah,
but they don't find Brock attractive.
probably because they're racist.
You would
Yeah.
let somebody attractive
Yeah.
hang on
Brock's
you, as
too
opposed
cool.
to somebody who does look creepy. You know what I mean?
People
But
mistake
if-
Brock as a pervert when he is not.
Yeah, he's just.
Moroku's a pervert. There's
Yeah,
no,
Moroku's
there's
a
no,
full-on pervert.
there's no way around that. But he does get called out in the anime for being a pervert. Like, they address that.
Yeah, well, but I mean, Brock also gets
He
called out all
finally-
the time
he
for being a
finally
hopeless
settles
romantic.
down
Like he gets
eventually,
assaulted
though.
every episode.
I
Yeah,
think
something.
There are three
necessary,
perverts
though.
I think of whenever I think anime perverts right away. First is Master Roshi,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
classic.
Jiraiya,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also
and
solid.
Sanji. So.
Yeah,
What about
Well,
the?
Sanji leans more towards the romantic side, though.
he does.
He
Sanji's
does, but
more
he's
like.
still kind of a pervert.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Sanji is, I think, probably what what people think Brock is.
is, yes.
Yeah.
Even though Brooke can kind of
What
be more
level of
pervy with what he
pervert?
has.
Yeah, Brooke is just, but he's like just old and doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Brooke straight
Old
up
black
asks to
man.
see people's panties.
Yeah.
Yes, old black man.
So what's your personal favorite anime?
My
Mr.
favorite.
Dyson?
It's changed over time, but
Yeah.
I think eventually it has come down, and it's still kind of flip flops depending on which one I've watched more recently. Because I've rewatched these two more than anything else that I've rewatched, and that's One Punch Man and
Oh,
Mob
fuck
Psycho
yeah.
100,
Mhm.
Yeah. I
which
love
are
all
both by
of
the same
those.
guy. So,
See, I've actually
Yeah.
never watched Mob Psycho 100.
It's very
so.
good.
It's great.
Yeah.
You should.
but I do love me some One Punch Man.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
when I
right.
first really started getting into stuff and watching, and I watched multiple, the very first season of The Devil's a Part-Timer was my favorite for a long time because it took so long for another season to come out. So then I just read all the light novels, and it's probably my favorite novelization
That's
of
awesome.
anything. Like I love the light novel.
Did you
The
watch
Devil's
the
Partner.
abridged for it?
No, I haven't.
I think you should.
I
It's very entertaining.
probably should. Then after that, it was probably Naruto for a while. Shippuden.
Yeah, Shippuden was a lot better than OG Naruto.
I remember
not get
Naruto
into
when it came out
Naruto.
on
Did you
Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
I watched enough Dragon Ball and One Piece and stuff now that Naruto's not even close to.
Yeah, they are just better.
Yeah, once I finish Shippuden, it's just not the same. And then Boruto really
I've
puts
never-
a stinker on everything Naruto.
Yeah, I've never tried to watch any Boruto.
No, I haven't even bothered. with
There's a movie
Boruto.
that I've been thinking about
Yeah,
watching.
I
I
watched
guess
the
it's a
first two
Boruto
episodes
movie.
of the OG show.
Boruto the movie also happens in the Boruto anime. So
Does it?
yeah.
So it's kind of like how the Dragon Ball movies are.
Yeah, the Dragon Ball
Those are
Z
super
movies.
movies, yeah.
Can I tell you guys about my first experience with anime?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I used to be really into what's that guy's name? He got killed by a stingray.
Oh, Steve
Steve
Irwin.
Irwin.
Steve Irwin. Yeah, I used to watch nature
Crocodile Hunter.
shows. I used to love seeing wild animals and stuff. Okay, I was like a
Yeah,
kind of a
that's so-
geek because we lived out in the forest. There were snakes and turtles and shit stuff everywhere. Anyways, I had some foster sisters, siblings, brothers and sisters
Mhm.
at the time. I don't remember their names or anything because they weren't around very long.
They weren't around that
Anyways,
long.
I was the big sister at the time. I had the most authority. So I was flipping through the channels. I was watching some Steve Irwin. Cuts to break. I'm like, gotta find something to watch in this time because, you know.
Mhm.
So I'm flipping through channels and I see something green and the kids are like, oh my god, stop. And I'm like, and then I switch back to Steve Irwin. I'm a total douchebag, okay, when I was young. I still am. But I felt bad the next day. So I watched it with them. So I was like, and then I got hooked. So
What
it
was this thing?
Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
It was Cell, actually.
Ah,
That's what I saw.
okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
Cell will do that.
Yep.
He is perfect.
I think the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
anime
perfect.
I ever watched was Magical Doremi.
Oh yeah. That was on like 4Kids.
Yeah. Well, it was a gift from Tia.
Mm-hmm. It was originally aired on the 4Kids thing though when you were
Yeah,
little.
no, I believe that. But I remember getting it from Tia and watching it and being like, this is so cool. And then I can't find it anywhere. And I've like to watch and I've gone over like the synopsis and I'm like, man, this is a kids anime.
It really is.
What's your favorite anime, Soren?
It's hard to pin down one exactly. So for a long time, it was probably Soul Eater because I would watch Soul Eater.
Oh,
a
Soul
lot.
Eater's so
I
good.
did like
Yeah.
Soul
Soul
Eater.
Eater, yeah.
Highly recommend Soul Eater.
Very artsy.
Yeah.
Very
Well, and it was very, with my late teens, early 20s brain was like, oh yeah, that is so weird.
And that's-
It's so
that's-
cool.
That's
That
also
makes
when
it,
I watched Soul Eater. It was
yeah,
around
that makes
time.
it better because it's weird.
Yeah.
So,
I was in my early 20s.
Yes, I
when saw
love
that
the
too. That
sun
was
and the
like all
moon having the
witch.
creepy
Oh, yeah.
faces.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
My favorite character is Stein.
Yes,
Stein.
Stein's fantastic. But
Excalibur.
honestly,
Oh god.
Excalibur. But honestly, an anime that I just keep going back to, and I watch different parts of it over and over again, and it's Bleach.
Yeah.
It's a little mainstream, but
Yeah.
But it's more of a nostalgic thing, I think, because
I just love. There's
Jeremy's
so
a huge
much of Bleach
supporter
that I
of
love.
Bleach.
Yeah.
I used to watch it for every day for the longest time until like I was just about
Never
to give birth.
actually watched Bleach.
And then I stopped, and then after that, it was like too far gone. I couldn't
Yeah.
watch it anymore.
Well, most of it,
It's
us
so
watched
good.
it for on the satellite for Cartoon Swim Saturday and
Adult Swim
Yeah, Adult Swim. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, Adult Swim
on Cartoon Network.
Was it
Yeah.
was it Saturdays and Sundays or was it just Saturdays?
Adult Swim was just after a certain period. I don't remember what day Bleach aired, but Adult Swim was like after
I
11
believe
p.m.
is at 9 or 10 p.m.
Was it 9 or 10? I
Yeah.
haven't watched
I
Satellite.
just remember
TV
watching
And
it.
so-
then at midnight, Toonami starts.
Oh yeah.
Toonami's
Yeah.
fantastic. Used to watch Zoids and Dragon Ball Z and
Yeah.
Bleach.
Yeah, my
Yu Yu
first experience.
Hakusho.
That,
Oh, I remember
that's,
Yu Yu Hakusho,
That's Colton's
yeah.
favorite anime. He loves Yu Yu Hakusho.
That's a solid anime.
And that's why he won't watch Bleach.
Really?
Yeah, he thinks Bleach is a copy.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
think
No,
they're
no matter,
very
no matter
different. I think
how
they're
many
very
people
different,
or how many
yeah.
times we tell him it's not, he won't watch it. Yeah.
I think the weirdest anime you've ever seen was.
The weirdest anime?
Yeah.
Tough one. Green.
I mean, the
What?
Mysterious
Yeah.
Girlfriend
Yeah.
X
What the
anime.
fuck?
That
weirds me out.
Dude, I should let you borrow that
That's
DVD.
that's
it's so
an
over
odd
the top.
one.
It's amazing.
I think the weirdest one I've ever actually like sat down and watched though was Sankaria.
Yeah, that was really weird. Have you guys ever seen that one? The
Yeah.
Pictures on-
Yeah.
yeah.
She's a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah. The weirdest one I've ever found is okay, I don't know its English name. So it's called Yo-Yo Yandemesu Azazel-san.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically they summon demons. They're like private investigators, but the guy uses demons to help his cases. You know, so someone comes to him, her husband's cheating on him, and so he summons Azazel into the human world, and he's this dumpy, like he looks badass in his world, but in this world he looks dumpy and chibi, and he's just like, and he's a really pervert demon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, all right, I need this guy I need him to stop cheating on his wife. So Azazel, he makes the man impotent. So the wife is unable, you know, he doesn't cheat with anyone else, but he also doesn't cheat, you know, have sex with his wife.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Anyways,
It's like a genie wish type thing.
yeah, so he's got several demons under his employ, and one of them is the Prince Beelzebub. He eats shit. He's like a fly demon,
Okay.
but he looks like a
Well,
penguin.
he talks about how much of a delicacy fecal matter is, and it's so freaking
One
messed up.
time he was like he had some in a Tupperware box or something. He was bringing it to the microwave, and the other guy sees him. He's like, okay, it's very bloody, so he stabs him.
Okay. All right then. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Good.
it is
Good.
hilarious.
If we're counting manga, there's Killing Stalking, which was really bad.
I never watched that. or
I
read
think
that.
I might have.
Don't.
I think I might have read that actually. Maybe.
What's
I don't
the
remember.
What's the premise of Killing
I
Stalking?
don't remember at all.
Ah.
I read a few weird ones.
Killing Stalking is about a stalker who is obsessed with a guy who saved him from being assaulted in the army.
Mm-hmm.
And he finds out where he lives, and he goes and he breaks into his house, and there's a woman in that man's basement who has been beaten up and bloodied. And the police tell the guy that, oh yeah, your cousin was at your house, and the guy's like, oh yeah, really? And so he goes back to his house because he doesn't have a cousin. And he breaks this kid's ankles with a baseball bat and ties him up in the basement and makes him kill people and assaults him and beats him.
You know.
Sounds riveting.
He says normally he doesn't keep men alive, but he's feminine enough to keep
So it's slice
alive.
of life.
Feminine.
And it's so bad. And the guy doesn't stop being obsessed with him. Like, he's terrified, and he's pushed to the brink of death half the time, and he was forced to kill a guy. And he's still like, oh, Sang-woo's so sweet, I love him. He's like, we could work, we could figure this out. He does try to escape a couple times, but he's still like, oh no, we can work this out, we can figure it out. And then throughout the anime, like, I mean, throughout the manga, it's really awful. But it's really well written, and the artwork is amazing.
Mm.
It won several awards.
I've seen too many to really remember the
But
weirdest
it's-
one.
Yeah.
Because there's weird ones that come to mind, but
You can
if
buy
I-
Killing
if
Stalking.
I remember
books
my
and
login to my anime list, I could
Interesting.
like look at everything I've watched, and because I've watched over like 200.
Well, there's a
So-
few that stuck out to me because I remember watching them, and some of them take you by surprise. And it's like,
Mhm.
you know, it goes a
Yeah.
completely different direction. Like, you're like, oh, this one was going to be a nice little anime, and then
Mhm.
it takes a left turn, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, well.
Yeah, Hunter did that when I watched it.
Oh yeah.
The start of it, it's more like, oh yeah, they're gonna be hunters. That's cool. And then Keela takes a guy's heart out, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
I'm like, all right,
Okay.
favorite character.
I actually read. If you guys are familiar
I'm
with
like, yeah.
Voodoo Healer,
Mm-hmm.
I guess they didn't know what they were getting into when they made that.
And now it's
Really?
a meme
Yeah.
wherever you see like an attractive girl saying, I wonder what it'd be like to break her
Huh?
fingers.
Oh, yeah.
That's-
I think it's
yeah,
over
because
there.
of Redo Healer. So, There is one I watched I thought was really good.
I do love me some radio reviews. That's a great one. Pretty much basically porn, but
Yeah, we got our fingers, so you just want to.
another one that's basically porn is interspecies reviewers.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
fine. Yeah.
But
That
also
shit's
great.
so
That one is
hilarious.
pretty funny.
I actually still have the music.
All
saved
those
on
anime
my
do
phone.
for me is I laugh my ass off the entire time I'm watching them.
Did the
They're
intro
so
and
funny.
outro? Great.
Oh yeah.
What's
Oh yeah, they have
name
some of the best
workout?
music. A lot of them. But yeah, they just make me laugh so hard anytime I watch them because you know they don't do anything for me. They're drawings and animations, so I don't feel weird about it.
I seen this one. It took me by surprise. It's like this post-apocalyptic future where, like, you know, if you get in trouble, they send you to a planet like Escape from New York or Escape from LA. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. You know, these guys, like, they're gonna send them to this little freaking prison island, and they're just gonna what they do is they kill each other
Should we
for
crack open?
dog tags, and whoever has the most dog tags, they can get out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm thinking, oh, this is interesting. You know, everybody's fighting and fighting. Next thing you know, like there's a dude wearing a gimp outfit crawling around,
Oh my god.
and I was like, well, this is a prison thing, so I guess I'm not too surprised. So,
All right then.
it just came out of nowhere, and I
I've
was
had a-
like, well.
I've had a few friends tell me to watch Prison High School. So.
Oh, it's so
Oh, yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Oh my
I
God!
love
What
it.
the best?
I've actually
Top
read the
10.
manga for that.
Top 10 right there.
I've actually read the manga and it's a piece of art.
Yeah.
I think I read about that in a magazine about manga.
Yeah.
If you like piss, you will buy into it.
No. Just no, Jeremy.
Okay, the thing about the piss
don't,
is
so.
it's not about the piss.
Try it.
It's about the shame
Don't
that
think
he
I
put
will.
her through. The thing was this guy. One of the wardens is a girl. She had to pee really bad, right? And she goes to pee and she finds out that he was in the nearby. He was like saving a bird or something. But he falls down and he sees her peeing. She's so shocked and angry and she runs away crying. But she wants revenge. She's like, I'm gonna make you pee in front of me. And so she's forcing him to do it, but he ends up pissing on her.
He's holding it, and she's like going, "You gotta piss now." He's
You
like,
gotta
"No,
piss."
No, and then she pulls down his pants and he just pisses all over her. It's so good.
Amazing statements. I think that's actually a fantastic note to end on.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
if anyone, if you were disturbed by anything that you heard here today, definitely tell us about it. You know, or if you're in favor of it, if it wasn't extreme enough, if you have a better anime
Yes.
for us, a weirder anime.
I
weirder
If you
Yeah.
love piss, make sure to tell us in the comments.
Yeah, tell us how much you love it precisely.
Yes.
Like
How
on
much
a
you hate it.
scale of
Yes,
1
like,
to 100.
comment, subscribe. Yes.
Exactly.
Oh.
I need more.
Probably we can
Thank you for
Go ahead and crack
like,
that
subscribe,
window.
go fuck yourself. Brought to you by Rain Shadow Legends.
We are not sponsored by them.
Not sponsored. That's all you gotta say is not sponsored.
Not a sponsor, we
Shadow
just like
Legends.
their
Oh
content.
wow,
Nope, never played a second of it in my
that
life.
smells like pineapple candy.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh.